Hi, it's me, John Porter again, speaking in support of Yang for president. I think that this country's got some real problems, and I can't blame it on the Republicans or the Democrats. It's bigger than that. We're arguing about who's going to be in charge, and I feel very strongly that the people should be in charge. That's what it was set up to do, is have put the people in charge. And who's going to govern this country? Ultimately, it's the people. And that's good news and it's bad news. Because the bad news is you can't blame it on the politicians. It's not the politicians. It's the people themselves that don't know what to do. I'm trying to focus this a little bit more on the people, and I think politicians are getting a bum rap. President Trump, the most successful politician, I think he's very data driven, and Andrew Yang, I think, is also data driven. So who's the most persuasive? Quite honestly, I've seen President Trump change positions, often in the same speech. So it's hard to know what he believes, but he's written several books, and when you look at the entirety of his work, he's been pretty consistent in what he believes, and he's been very effective in getting there with his strategies. A lot of misdirection, a lot of misinformation, but when it comes down to trade, immigration, getting us, keeping us out of wars, he's done a pretty good job doing what he wants to do. And he tells it like it is to the people. He conveys emotions. And I like Andrew Yang for the same reason. He's good at conveying his opinions. And both of those individuals are very strong candidates. But the problem, again, is with the people. There's, in the political parties, we have a lot of agreement. We just don't have the political will to execute. For instance, do they believe in a two-party system? I think that you could take Republicans and Democrats together. I'm talking about the really active political hacks that have been so successful. They sincerely believe that a one-party system would be the best for the country, where you have a what do you call it, filibuster-proof Senate, and you could also, a filibuster-proof Senate would allow you to impeach any president that you don't like. So anyway, I think both parties are pretty much in agreement that their party is the best. And it really raises the question, if it comes down to it, who do you favor? Success of American people or the success of your political party? The way they behaved, I think that the answer might be the latter. I don't see a lot of allegiance to the Constitution. If you look at the impeachment process, they don't seem to be doing that very well. And especially you look at the selection of the judges. That Kavanaugh situation was a joke. It was a bad joke that was played on this guy, Kavanaugh. He got about 5-6 days notice of this witness, and the rules of evidence had no place in that hearing. And prior to that, a year before Trump got elected, Mitch McConnell in the Senate held up the what's his name? Anyway, the Supreme Court recommendation from Obama It didn't even get a hearing. And it says in the Constitution that the Senate is going to, review this and approve or disapprove. They did not do that. When you look at the way Trump has treated Congress, there's advise and consent with respect to congressional power. You can't go to war without approval of the Congress. That's right there in the Constitution. And the Congress has a review function, an oversight function, and everybody knows you got to have information in order to have oversight. And Trump provoked a lot of this by refusing to deliver the information that Congress needed. And I'm talking about a year or so ago this has been dragging on. So I don't see much allegiance to the Constitution from either party. And I spent a lot of time in China. They have a one-party system. It's actually working better than a system that we have in the U.S. at the moment. They have problems too. So I favor the conflict of a conflict of ideas that's inherent in the two-party system. I just wish that the people would quit electing those politicians that are bad-mouthing the country. It seems like the more you bad-mouth the people in office, the more support you get from the public. And Trump is an exaggeration of this, but you can look at the other parties too and see the same thing going on. So what's the solution? Well, we can look back in history. There was a city named Sparta in Greece, and they didn't have any walls around that city. Can you imagine that? And somebody said, well, how can you defend yourselves? You've got no walls. And the answer was, every citizen of Sparta is a brick in the wall defending the city. And they got by pretty well for a long time because they had loyalty. Well, that's my idea. The people have got to change their attitude. Start supporting the country over party. That goes for the party members that are serving in Congress and everybody else as far as that's concerned. Well, my name's John Porter. I approve of this message. No taxpayers were harmed in the production of this video.